Hi, this is Brandon Splay from thirstgym.com. Today we're talking about an exercise called the Cambered Swiss angle bar bench press versus chains. This is a great chest and bench press building exercise to help your bench press, build your chest, build your upper body, and it's also incredibly shoulder friendly. That's probably my favorite thing about this exercise, is that even if you have some kind of shoulder problems, you probably are going to be able to bench press to some degree with this exercise. So we've got the Cambered Swiss angle bar here from Elite FTS. This is an awesome bar. Basically, we have a little bit of a camber here on the bar, and we've also got angled grips on the bar as well. So that's going to get our hands at about a 45-degree angle. So we're not going to be quite neutral, but we're going to be kind of at somewhere in between. I think it feels really great when you bench with it, but the camber also is going to give you some more range of motion. Big pitfall of the regular Swiss bar is that you just feel like you're kind of cutting range of motion. Not the case with this bar. We've also got some easy loaders here from Elite FTS. These are fantastic for attaching chains. I would highly suggest looking into invest these if you use chains at your facility. You can certainly use leader chains, but I just think the use of these are great, and if you work with teams or training partners, it's even better. But that's how we would do those. And then on our YouTube channel, we already have set up how to set up chains, but just so you know, I've got these on here. I got the other chain over there. And then we got the 5/8 chain here with a carabiner already hooked onto it. And basically for my demonstration purpose here and for me, I'm going to put it here on the top. That's where I need it. That's where probably most people are going to need it for a bench press. Certainly if you have different kind of loading system, then you might have to look into that. But basically we just hook it on there and we're good to go. Yeah. So it's as simple as that. And then we're just going to go through the exercise here and kind of what we're looking for coaching cue wise. So we're going to lay down on the bench, and with our standard bench press base setup, I personally want to make sure that you get your weight up on your traps a little bit, and then if you want to get on the bench like this, that's fine, or you can certainly pull yourself back, really whatever it is you want to do, but feel your upper back. We're just going to go with a regular neutral or medium handle here, but by all means you can go with a close or a wide grip as well. Just going to depend upon how wide you are, what your build is. But once we get our shoulders set here, then we're going to drop our feet on the ground. And then again, depending upon, if you're competing or not competing, your feet can be flat, they can be tucked. That's really up to you, but just make sure it's a place where you can create some solidity and you're good and strong and you're able to stabilize yourself. Once we get here, we want to make sure our shoulders are kind of pulled back and down. We want to depress them. We want to make sure they're here. We don't want to unrack in like a shrug position. We're going to pull them down here a little bit. That's going to keep us more stable. And then we're going to unrack after that. We're going to push up, come out. The chains are going to provide some instability just naturally. That's not what we're after, but it can be a benefit. The more chains you get, the less that happens. And obviously, as you add weight to the barbell, it also becomes more stable as well. But once the bar is stabilized, once you've got it out here, we're going to come down. We're going to touch our chest with the cambered part and then press back up here. So as I press, the chains come down. They deload into the floor. As I press up, they unload, which then increases the load of the exercise at the top. So that's why it's shoulder friendly, is that not only we're neutral grip, but as we go down, we're technically losing load and then pressing back up. That's going to increase the demand on our tricep musculature as well, and then we'll rack. Okay. So as we come down, we really want to make sure this bar does a good job just doing it naturally, that our elbows stay at a good 35, 45 degree angle. We're not going to be out here, and we're also not going to be cranked in by our side. Like I said, the bar for the most part takes care of that for you. And then the way that you want to load the chains on, my recommendation is usually somewhere between 20 and 25% of your 1 rep max. So if you're a 200-pound bencher, you probably want to use about 40 to 50 pounds of chain. So knowing that each set of my chains here is 20 pounds, half is technically on the floor, really 1, maybe 2 on each side as you learn and get the hang of it is probably what you want to use. We don't want too much chain to where we basically get nothing on the chest in terms of loading, and then as soon as we come off the chest, it's like hitting a wall. We want it to be almost smooth and gradual, where you can tell that you're having to fight and have to work, but basically what the chains are helping us do is just overload the strength curve, because as we know, it's harder down here, the exercise is harder down here and easier as you get further away from your chest. So we're basically going to make sure we train that entire curve as we press. So that is the exercise. It's very, very simple to perform once you get the setup, and again, I think this is a fantastic way to train your bench press if you are a non-competitive strength athlete. And if you are a competitive strength athlete, it's a great thing to do off season to keep your shoulders healthy, but also get your shoulders, pecs, and triceps stronger. When it comes to programming, you're going to have some options. Since you have the chains, you can theoretically do dynamic effort-based work to where you would have your chains on there and your load on the bar would be somewhere between 40 and 60%. And you would perform that for speed repetitions, not for the maximum load, just trying to move it as fast as you can, which is great for developing power in the upper body. So you can do that with your athletes and your football players and your throwers, or if you're a power lifter, it could be great for your conjugate style training. If you're doing a max effort based thing, it's also not a bad idea because again, it's going to be relatively shoulder friendly. It's going to challenge a different variation, the mechanics in terms of the way you would normally bench press are going to be changed because of your hand position and the bar and the camber and all that kind of stuff. Or you can just, again, use it for real hypertrophy work. So you could, again, take this as max singles. You could do dynamic effort work. You can do hypertrophy work for 3, 4, 5, 6 sets of 3 to 8 reps. It really just depends upon what your goals are and how you would go about programming this. So keep that in mind. If you have any questions about how you might particularly program it based on your goals, just leave me a comment in the comment section and I'll get back to you on how you might be able to utilize that. So that's all I've got for the exercise. Again, any questions, feel free in the comment section. Thanks. Have a great day.